You have an email.
See if anyone's going to jump in here today. Hey, Blue Wave Odyssey. How you doing? Your first one in today? I'm studying Northern Michigan. There you guys coming in. Hey, Bluey. RV Dogs in the house. A little bit crazy. RV Ashes in April. Homesteading North Michigan. Has anyone figured out why we're having trouble going to other people's channels here on YouTube today or yesterday? This is just a quick lunchtime live. I got a hydrostat going that I started at 11 o'clock out of one of their warehouses. So I got to be back out there at 1 to check it and see if they passed. But I thought I'd jump on here for a few minutes. I didn't see anybody on live. So I was just wondering if we figured out any reason why the YouTube wasn't allowing us to jump over to other people's channels. It's just a glitch with YouTube. So it's something that's going to be fixed. It's not something permanent. Hey, Bob's Adventure, how you doing? Andy Wood 9663. Good afternoon. How you doing, sir? Hopefully they'll get that fixed pretty quick because we got some new people that I've been on some live streams that would like to check out their channels, and other than copying their name and having to go all the way over, I've just been writing them down and then kind of go over and visit them when we're not doing anything else. So how's everybody's? I guess it is afternoon here. It's 12:17 in Kansas. I just got to tell you, we were 91 degrees here yesterday. Actually really hot. And today, I think our high is going to be in the 50s with a low of 29 tonight. And they're talking that we could possibly get 2 inches of snow. Hope they're wrong on that. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced some crazy weather, but we sure are right now. By just saying hi to everybody. Looks like we got 8 people in here. I was watching Daydreams About Nice Things. He had a pretty decent coffee chat this morning. Before that, I was watching Keith drive down the road. Oh, man, I think I gotta go shave before I go back out there. I didn't realize that. Over the Hill RV, how you doing, buddy? How's things out there in Vegas? The Strip dead. Homesteading North Michigan, so they got snow this morning. I thought we was done with the snow. I was hoping to get out and unwinterize the RV, but no such luck because now they're saying for the next 4 or 5 days that we are looking for lows in the 20s at night. So I don't want to take that chance. So I may just hold off to the 1st of May. Hey, Thomas Farmoki, how you guys doing? Yeah, I had about 40 minutes to kill here, so I thought I'd just jump on and see how everybody was doing today. That's good. Said it was live, but it didn't stick. Then Blue Lane RV Life, how you doing, buddy? Hope everything's going well for you. Yeah, I was just watching a couple lives this morning. Oh, we got Sasquatch Station coming in here. How you doing, sir? Blue Waves saying hi to Bill and Nancy. Hope you guys are doing good. I was just watching more POA. Hey, Art of RV. What's up? How you guys doing? Just saw POA. They put out that video where they was getting kicked out of their free campground. So they had to be out by 8 o'clock the next morning. So they decided to wait till 8 o'clock the next morning and have a final dinner there and burn up some of the free firewood they had given them. So it's interesting. It's a short video. You guys should go over and watch that. The thumbnail on it's what got me interested. She would look like she was kicking him out of there. So pretty neat. New Vision Security Services. How are you doing? What part of the country are you in today? Well, this crazy old weather we're having is just driving me nuts. I tell you. Had a beautiful weekend all the way up to yesterday, and now it's just going to turn to crap. Oh yeah, then Blue Lane, you definitely need to go watch that. That's a pretty good one. I'm not sure where they were going to move to, but they had to be out. The ranger come by and told them they had to be out by 8 o'clock the next morning, so they were starting to pack up. And they want to have one last dinner there, and he cooked him some look like turkey steaks. Hey, Slow Momentum, how you doing, buddy? Watching you this morning. I don't know what road you were on, but it looked pretty rough. I understand you guys are going back and picking up a couple more and turning around and going right back to where you dropped off. Hope you guys aren't having any trouble. I'm sure you're not. I don't know other than seeing Rick Nomadic Hippie last night. I think he's doing pretty good. I'm not convinced he's got the bug because my daughter right now is going through pretty much the same thing. She's got a lot of the symptoms, but she did get she was negative. So I think there's also a flu bug running around too, which we don't need. Has he got a video up and running in Blue? I'll have to go check that out. For some reason, I'm going back to each and every one of you guys too because it's showing me that I'm not getting notifications, and when I go back in, it's showing me that I'm not subscribed to you guys. So I'm going back through all my list here, and since I don't have much more to do in the evenings, and checking to make sure I am resubscribed to everyone. Beyond Beauty 3, how you doing, lady? Hope things are going well for you. Oh, I see. Watching some reruns of his karaoke. That's some good reruns to watch there. I try not to go back and watch it because I don't want to see myself make a fool of myself. But I do enjoy that karaoke night. He's got a good thing going there, so I hope he continues that up. And he has got some incredible thumbnails too. I know Cobra Roll or somebody's helping him out on that, and they are doing a fantastic job. They look great. Yeah, that's all we can do is stay safe, and I hope you guys, if you are going to the grocery stores or having stuff delivered to you, be sure you're sanitizing that stuff before you bring it into your house because you don't know how many hands have touched it before you got a hold of it. I did venture to Sam's Club yesterday late afternoon just because we were running kind of low on staple supplies, and it was kind of odd being in there and seeing everybody in masks and gloves, including myself. I had gloves and N95 mask on and going through there and getting just what I had to and getting out of there as quick as I could. But it reminds me of some of the scenes you see from China with everybody walking around with gloves and mask on. But even though I did, they give you those free sanitized wipes at the front of the store when you go in. So I just grabbed me a handful of them, and as I picked my items up, I would wipe them off with those sanitized wipes. And then when I got back home, I put everything in the garage on the table and disinfected it again before I brought it in the house. But I just have to be extremely careful with my wife's condition on what I bring into the house. Howling Fun RV Adventures, how you doing? The stores are all out of wipes. So be sure if you do have to do that, just be sure you bring it back in and don't bring it into your house till you at least wipe it off. I have a stack of wipes out in my garage with a table, and I set everything on it, and everything gets wiped down, and then let it dry before I bring it in the house. So, Mary Jones, how you doing? RV Ashes in April. Dang, got 18 in here. I just kind of popped in just to see what was going on. But yeah, anything that comes in this house, even our home care nurses that show up, they show up in masks, gloves, everything. I had to take some blood work the other day and actually made me and my daughter go upstairs while they accessed her port to draw some blood out of. So hopefully everybody's doing their part. I think for the most part, from what I've seen yesterday, everybody was doing their part at the grocery store. There was a few people in there without masks or gloves on, but yeah, you see that everywhere. I went by the golf course here in our town. The golf course is just completely packed. Hang on just a second, guys. Let me grab this. Yes, sir. Hey. Yeah, they're gonna have to alarm that. They don't have. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'll look up. Yeah, I'll get it to you. Have you got an email from him or his phone number? I'll get to you. Mm-hmm. Well, how do you think the fire alarm was going to get managed? Monitored? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, no, not for that. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Just go ahead and write up the letter to him, and I will. I'll see if I got it. I was just looking for an email. I know I had an email from him, but for some reason it's not popping up, and I put Jeremy, so I don't know if it came from his company or. Uh, well, let me see what I can find. I'll send it to you. Hey, welcome to the world of being a fire marshal. That's okay. Well, I'll let my boss know. So, all right, take care. Bye. Oh, oh, sorry guys. I thought I muted my mic. That was just a little work issue. Um, Bad part about being in my job. That was the fire marshal there. We got a business that's trying to get away from putting a fire alarm in there. Can happen, but they'll try. So it's his first official fire marshal duty to make someone mad. We don't get a lot of Christmas cards here at the old fire prevention division. Um, but anyway, it's what it is, what the code says. Let's see, Thin Blue Line. I have been in, I volunteered for 10 years and I've been full time for 26 years. So I've got 36 years in right now. 26 full time, 10 volunteer. I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but when we had the three girls, they were all at home. Back in, it was in the 80s or something, I had a chance to go to work for Olathe Fire Department. And they had called me in, and I had my drywall company going at the time. And the I thought, man, fire service would be good, good retirement stuff. So I went and talked to them, and they said that I asked them what their starting pay was, and they told me $12,000 a year. And at that time, with three girls at home, no way could I go from what I was making with my drywall company down to $12,000 a year. So when my wife started her beauty shop in Gardner, the town we live in now, the fire chief of the volunteer fire department was also the mail carrier, and she cut his hair. So she was talking to him one day when she was cutting his hair, and said, my husband always been kind of interested in the fire service, and maybe he could volunteer for you guys. And the fire chief said, well, it was on a Saturday. He said, well, call him up here while I'm here, and we'll talk to him about getting on the volunteer fire department. So she did. She called me, and I drove up there. And at the time, I had a full beard and everything, and he was sitting there in a chair getting his hair cut. And he said, so, young man, you interested in fire service? And I said, yeah, I've always been interested in public service. I said, wasn't sure which way I was going to go, fire, police. But and he said, well, you're in luck. He said, our department is they were a department of public safety at the time. So they did both. They did fire and police were combined. So he said, if you want to see what the fire service is like, he said, tomorrow we're going to be doing a training fire on a house that they wanted to get rid of so they could build a highway. He goes, why don't you come out and take a look and see if it's something you're interested in? And I said, well, yeah, I'll do that. And he said, well, meet me at 8 o'clock in the morning at the fire station. And he goes, how fond of you of that beard? And I took a pair of clippers off my wife's station there, and I just started shaving my beard off. And I said, I'm not very fond of it at all. So we did. We showed up. Hey, daydreams about nice things. Thanks for stopping in. Showed up the next Sunday morning. He told me, okay, you're not a member. He goes, you're just going to ride over there with us and just kind of watch. So we did. We drove over to the house, and they started putting, just hay bales in there and barrels and kind of getting the smoke. And I asked him if I could go in there, just put an air pack on and go in and see if it was something that was going to bother me, having an air pack on or not. You never know when you put all that equipment on. I've had guys come to want to volunteer, and since you put that all on them and put them in a place where they can't see, they get real claustrophobic, and it's just not for them. So I said, well, why don't you let me see if I even want to do this? So he did. He rounded some gear up, got it for me, and I put the air pack on and went in with two of the other captains. He wanted to make sure there was two captains that went in with me. So I went in there and went through a bottle of air, and man, just instantly fell in love with it. Hey, hitch up and tow. How you guys doing? So I came back out and I said, man, that was awesome. I said, you mind if I do that again? He goes, well, you can do one more bottle, but that's about all I'm going to be able to let you do because we're getting ready to light this thing on fire and we're going to do some live fire training in it. I said, okay, that's fine. I understand. So he let me go through there again. They had hid some rescue dummies through there. So they actually let me go through there and try to find the rescue dummy this time. And hey, New Horizons. So we went in with the two captains again. They let me lead, and we found the dummy and brought him outside and stuff. He said, okay, now, Jerry, he goes, just go over and stand by the truck because we're going to light this thing off, and there's no way I can let you go in on live fire since you're not a member. Insurance isn't covering you. I said, Okay, that's fine. He goes, besides, your wife would kill me if she knows I'm putting you in on live fire. And he goes, that woman cuts my hair, she can do some damage. So I said, okay. So I went over by the fire truck and I was just kind of hanging out there, and they lit that thing on fire, and all of a sudden fire started blowing through the roof and stuff, and you could see it through the windows. And these guys were all lined up in teams of three. So I never took the gear off, and of course, with all that gear and the mask on, they really don't know who you are. There's no names at the time. Now we have names on everything. You can see everybody's name from their gear. So I just went up there and got in line, and ended up going into that live fire training like 4 times that day. And he finally called me on the last time coming out. And he goes, "What the heck are you doing?" I said, "Man, I couldn't resist. I just had to go in there, see what it was like." He goes, "You're going to get me killed by your wife." Wasn't worried about getting hurt or nothing, because that was it. He was going to let it burn down after that. Man, from that day on, he told me to meet him Monday morning at the station. I met him up there, and he assigned me gear and a radio, and that's where it all started. And um, they've just been in my blood ever since. So um, then when the girls graduated from high school, um, the neighboring department over here, I knew some guys over there, knew the fire chief and stuff from volunteering here. He kind of called me up and he said, "You you think you might want to go into the fire service now?" And I said, "Well, it depends on what it pays." And I have my drywall company going good. And he goes, "Well, now, Joe, you got to realize," he goes, "you're only going to be working 10 days a month. You got 20 days a month off. So you're only going to work 10, 24-hour shifts." And I guess nobody really sat down and explained it to me. So I went over and talked to him. And sure enough, he talked me into it. And even then, 27 years ago now, the starting pay for a firefighter was only $16,000. I'm going, man, how do I go from what I'm making now, even giving up those 10 days? But I went back and talked to the wife, and she said, "You know what? If you're going to do it, now's the time. The girls are grown. We got them out of high school. They're in college. But, um, if you're going to do it, now would be the time to do it." So I called him back up and I said, "Hey, if the offer's still on the table, I'll take it." So it worked out great. Started working over there, and let's see, 1994, I believe it's April of 1994 is when I started over there. Um, and man, just absolutely loved it. Was still really able to. I had a guy that was kind of running my drywall company on the days off that he did a really good job, and I paid him a little extra to do it. And before long, it was just a thing of life. They knew that I was going to be working 10 days a month at the fire station. And, some of those days falls on weekends. So there would be weeks that I only worked at the fire station 1 day a week. If I happened to work a Friday, Sunday, Tuesday. So really, it worked out great. So I was able to keep my drywall company going, plus the fire job. So basically, we used the fire job. Um, Sometimes it would be you get paid twice a month, and my paycheck wouldn't even cover my house payment at the time. Both checks wouldn't cover it. I'd still be short on house payment, but I sure am glad I made that decision to do that. And actually, I went. I moved up pretty quick over there because it was a small fire department, and I did have 10 years experience volunteering. I was the assistant chief of the volunteer fire department that we had here, which I kind of ran the fire department because the chief was also, he was the fire chief and he was also the police chief. It was still public safety at the time. So he had me running the fire department. He had a captain on the police side running the police department. He was kind of like the administrator for both departments. So it worked out good. So I had quite a bit of experience in budgeting and stuff like that for the fire service. So um, I made lieutenant over there, and I think I started in '94. I made lieutenant, '96, made captain, and let's see, I'm losing track now. Made captain shortly after. I wasn't a lieutenant very long. Made captain, and then I made assistant chief over there in 1999. So I worked from there for 99 until 11 years ago when uh, this little small volunteer department that I started my career in, they consolidated with a fire district that covers this area too, and they called and wanted to know if wanted to come back over and and go to work here as a battalion chief, which was still 10 days a month. Yes, Jim Harwood. Is that you, Jim? This is James, and this is the guy. This is my very first fire chief, James Harwood. I hope that you just popped in here. This is the guy I was telling you about that talked me into it, and hope I didn't get him in too much trouble that first fire we ever went to. But yeah, I hope that's you. It's if it is, I am glad to see you. Look at that, it is him. Now he lives down in Oklahoma now, but you want to talk about a man that changed my life? It's this guy right here because he kind of took me under his wing. He was the fire chief when I first got on, and man, I call him. I call him all hours of the day and night and say, "Hey, I'm going up to the station. Can you meet me up there and show me what I need to do to learn how to pump this truck or what I need to do to better myself here?" And, I am glad to see you, Jim. Thank you for popping in. I was just telling some old war stories. Um, it's funny because you talk to these new guys that are coming into the fire service today, and they just kind of expect the newest and best of everything that the money can buy. And and when I first started here, we had three older trucks, and they just bought a brand new little. I've got a picture of it somewhere. I'll show you guys sometime. Little single cab new truck, but it got to where we was using it so much that, and our budget was so small that um, the batteries got bad on that truck. Instead of us having to where we go out and just buy new batteries for it, we parked our other truck behind it, and we were kind of on a downhill grade coming out of our station. This was a standard transmission truck. Would use that truck to push the other one out the door and pop the clutch and get it going. So now these guys just don't know how good they got it made. But you try to tell them that stories, and they say, "Yeah, that can't be true." But Jim can attest, it was all true. We did the job with what we had, right, Chief? Yeah, they do too here, Roy. I think it just got to where the city was growing so fast, and the surrounding areas for the city was growing fast. We had a Burlington Northern Santa Fe decided here about 10 years ago they wanted to relocate their main rail yard hub out here between Gardner and Edgerton, two towns that we covered. So they come out here and bought a bunch of land and built that railroad hub. Well, with the railroad hub came all these large warehouses. Of course, everybody wants to be so close to the rail yard for transportation. So we started out with a couple of warehouses, the first year, a couple more the next year. Now we're up to almost 14 million square feet of warehouses. So I think the city of Gardner saw that, and it wasn't in the city of Gardner; it was actually in the city of Edgerton. So it they kind of saw that with the money influx from, not that we get any money from Burlington Northern, because believe it or not, they're pretty much tax exempt. They get to do everything for no taxes. But the warehouses, we get a percentage of the money off of that. And I think they kind of saw that's where the future was headed. Okay, Howling RV Adventure. That's okay. So they started talking. real good, real good friend of mine that we kind of grew up in the fire service with Gardner. He had taken over the. There was still kind of public safety. He was the captain, of the fire division. He kind of started talking with the chief of the fire district and the chief of the city and kind of got them going, trying to look what we could do and save if we did consolidate the two departments together. Um, and it's just financially feasible that the district would be able to sustain a lot more than the city would be. So in 2010, we consolidated with the city of Gardner. So now we cover the city of Gardner, city of Edgerton, and then we have about 90 square miles of unincorporated Johnson County that we cover. So it's worked out good. We work out of three stations right now. We got the land and the money to build the fourth one. So hopefully, when all this stuff gets done, we can get our station started and get some more people in place, and things are looking bright for the county here. So I'm really fortunate to uh, have started back over here when I did, because the growth wasn't here at the time, and now, like I said, 14 million square foot of warehouses that were popping up, and that's actually what I got a hydrostat started on right now. As a little over, I think it's like 1.3 million square foot warehouse that we're testing the fire line on right now. And as soon as they get them built here, somebody moves them. We got some of the biggest names. Kubota moved, they built 2 million square foot warehouses out here, Kubota Tractor. We have a Hostess. We have Dem Datco, who supplies all the Hallmark stores with all their little trinkets. We have, trying to think of the mower company, one of the big dog mowers. We got one of their distribution centers out here. We have an Amazon um, fulfillment center. We have Spectrum Brands, who does like a lot of kitchen faucets and stuff like that. We have 5 of them that is called Smart Warehousing, and all they do, if you're a smaller business and you can't afford a warehouse, they'll warehouse your goods for you and ship them out, and you just pay them for doing that. So it's incredible the stuff we got going. One of these days, I'll have to take you guys on a tour when things calm down. Let's see, they're worried about money going to the bigger departments in the next county. They already work with them. That's what we were. We had mutual aid with everybody around here, but I think for the long-term feasibility of the fire department, they thought it would just be a good time to consolidate with the fire district. And it was a pretty easy consolidation too. Let's see what Daydream's saying here. Yeah, that's what this was 1994. I started out for $16,400 a year. So uh, it was good for me because, like I said, when I came back over here, I was a battalion chief, so still working the 10 days a month. So I was able to keep kind of sold the drywall company by the end, but I got into basement remodeling, which I really like, because I take somebody's raw basement and turn it into the dream basement. And me and a couple guys did every bit of the work except the electrical and the plumbing. Anything else, we did it. We studied it. We did the HVAC on it. We did all the tile work. Um, I had my son-in-law. He would do the carpet in them, but we did all the woodwork, trim, paint, everything. It was a blast. It took me about three months probably to complete a basement with from start to finish. But man, we turned out some good looking work. I got some pictures I'll show you guys sometimes of the basements we did. So that was fun. But then they they promoted me to division chief when all this building took off, because they needed somebody to watch over it and do all the plan reviews and stuff. And so I was a one-man show for a while, and then beginning of last year, they hired me uh, some help, and he was very knowledgeable in the codes. And I think 2 years ago now, time flies when you're having fun. But he just got promoted to fire marshal, so that was who I was on the phone to, and that's why I was telling you he's got to do his first nasty letter now. to make somebody come up to compliant. But it's okay. You be nice until you can't be nice no more, and then you just have to quote them the code, and it's right there in black and white, so you don't have too much of a fight. Hey, RV Dog, how you doing? Hope I didn't miss any in the chat. I know we had we got a lot of people in here. Let's see what. Oh wow. Well, I'm glad you got out of there. I think I've had a couple close calls, but so far God's been with me and got me out of them. Okay, so I've never been really majorly hurt on a fire scene, other than stepping on a piece of glass and running through my boot into the side of my foot, maybe tweaking your knee or back here or there, but nothing that's really put me out of work for no period of time. Um, it's a life I've loved and I wouldn't trade it for anything. It sure has did well for my family, so can't complain at all. Let's see. What time? Still got 19 people in here, man. I hate to leave, but I'm going to have to run back out. I'm going to be back out there at 1 o'clock and check this hydro and make sure they get their fire loop passed so they can go ahead and start hooking up some fire suppression stuff. Let's see what. Yeah. That's funny because tell you a little story. My wife, when I first got on the fire department, we had very few volunteers out here in this town. Because when I moved out here, it was only like 7,000 people. So we had like 5 or 6 volunteers that would show up all the time. And I had talked my wife into I needed to go to EMT school. I knew that, so I talked her into going with me. And she went through EMT school and got her state certification and everybody. Hey, Linda Baker, we'll see ya. Have a good day. So me and her, the city was just getting ready to start running medical calls. When I first came over here, the city fire department ran nothing but fires, no medical calls at all. And the chief at the time, or the I guess he was the director of public safety is what his title was. He decided that we needed to start running medical calls, so I knew I had to get my EMT license. So myself, a good buddy of mine, Stan Brooks, and my wife went through EMT school. So we're the only 3 EMTs for the entire city. And it was funny because my wife got on the volunteer fire department too, and it was kind of hilarious because we never stayed at the station. We just ran everything from home. So we'd get a call in the middle of the night. We'd have to get up, get in the car, go up to the station, get our little med unit, run the call, and it was so funny because half the time, of course, I can get up and get dressed in a heartbeat. Half the time we're going up our road, and she's over there trying to get her bra and her shirt on still because she's just running out of the house with what she can grab because she knows that we got to go quick. So, some funny stories. We actually run the very first medical call in Gardner City history, so it was fun. And Blue Wave, I know you had to jump off for a second with that Jim Arwood. That was my very first fire chief in the fire service back in 1984. He's the one that kind of got me in this career, and I love him to death for it. And just talked to him on the phone not too long ago. And it's really good to talk to him and good to reconnect with him. We hadn't talked for a few years. But guys, I guess I better jump off here and get out there and get that an inspection completed. And lunchtime is about over in 7 minutes anyway. So I do appreciate you guys jumping on here and let me ramble for a little bit. I'm sure I don't have the schedule pulled up, but I'm sure we'll see you somewhere tonight. Hitch up and toe, thank you. That's what Jim calls my wife, Miss Die. So I will tell her, and I'll give her a big hug from you too, and tell you that you love her, and she knows that, and you know she loves you too. So, and this whole community, Jim, has just been great with all the stuff going on with her. You would not believe the support these guys here on this chat has given us through this. So But I better shut up and get out of here and go finish my work. And we'll catch you guys somewhere on a live tonight, I am sure. So I'll let everybody go, and I will. Thank you, Thin Blue Lane. You guys all have a great day. Stay safe. Hope you're not getting any snow like we're supposed to be getting. Love you guys. You guys take care, and we'll see you later tonight. Take care. Bye.